Okay, before I just start, these damn webs. Anyways, hi guys. Welcome to my channel. Kamela Wenzo Guchambata, Gusha for short, because guys, I got Gusha to have you here with me today. So to be honest, yeah, I think when it comes to me, like sitting down and actually talking in videos, I sometimes I'm always like reluctant to do it, you know. Like recently I posted a video like talking as if like we're on FaceTime, and I really enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? I think because also like I'm someone who really loves talking. It's just always great just to sit down and have like a bit of a chat and stuff. But also I feel like with regards to my channel, I was always a bit like reluctant to actually do like sit down videos, mainly because I just always ask myself the question like, are people really about to sit and just listen to you talk for like 20 minutes straight? It's like, darling, are we sure? Because regardless of the fact that I did want to do more like sitting videos and me actually talking, because I realized that like for most of my channel, I've had my channel for like 2 years now, which is actually insane. I've been on the internet for 2 years. But anyways, I realized that like I actually constantly, well, not constantly, because like only like such a small portion of your life actually goes on the internet. But anyways, but like I've basically been sharing certain moments and memories and stuff like that of my life and stuff for quite some time now, but I haven't actually sat down and like actually said anything about myself. And it was with good reason, because when I started my channel, I, to be honest, did not want to do like the get to know me tag and whatever, because you're going to get to know me as you watch my videos. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna get to know me, my friends, my life, maybe my family here and there and stuff like that. So like you're going to be a bit more familiar with me, because I didn't want to start it with me telling you who I am. Like, you're going to see now as you keep watching ukuthi umuntu kanjani yabo, ukuthi ngumuntu kanjani and stuff. So and then when it came time where I was like, okay, let's actually do like a sit down thing, I kind of started getting a little, nervous, in nerves, in yana, nothing too crazy. And I think it's just because like I had this thing where like my brain was convincing me that like, no, like just continue doing what you're doing, like there's no need for you to just like sit and talk. But lately, like I really, like, God has been pressing it in my heart just to actually talk a bit more, like even when I'm at like Bible study and stuff like that, like just actually talk and just like share and stuff like that, because I feel like for me sharing and stuff has always been a bit of an awkward experience, like with anybody else. But for me, like sharing was always an awkward experience because I, at the time, like in the past, never actually knew how to articulate myself. And I actually prayed about this. Like, I think it was when I was in grade 9. I was like, Lord, please, can you give me the ability to actually like talk and for it to make sense? Because I found that like it's not that I never had the desire to actually like talk and speak like about my feelings and stuff like that. Okay, let me be more specific. I'm an extrovert, so I'm very outspoken. Like everyone that knows me knows, hi, this girl, she's here. You know what I'm saying? But also I think when it came to talking about like certain things, I always was not able to, because I couldn't put to words what it is that I actually wanted to say, so I'd end up not saying anything at all, which was a very big problem for me, because even when I would try explain certain things, like the way in which I was explaining it, it wasn't speaking to her, like wasn't speaking to like the gravity of the situation. Like the way I was explaining it wasn't actually describing how bad or how good or however things are. So for the past couple of years, like I really have been working on being a lot more like articulate and stuff, even just for myself, because you know how sometimes like even when it comes to figuring out your own feelings and like reflecting about your life, like if you don't have the ability to articulate yourself, you also sometimes not fully able to grasp or understand what is actually happening, because you haven't taken out the time to actually learn how to fully express and communicate or understand or whatever it is. I don't know, just a bunch of emotional intelligence stuff. But anyways, yesterday, oh, this is also another talking like one FaceTime type of video. To be honest, these videos, I never wanted to have a specific thing of let's talk about this, let's talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're just gonna talk as it comes. Whatever I feel like yapping about that day, that's what's going to happen. you know but yeah, I also just never wanted for my sit downs to be like anything too serious. Like, we're literally just here just to like chill and sits, guys. Like nothing too big, nothing too sexy is gonna be happening. We're just talking life and stuff, and perhaps what I'm currently feeling, what's been on my mind and stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, yesterday I was sitting and thinking in bed, and I actually thought about the fact that like I'm turning 20 like in December, you know. For me, my birthday is on the 30th of December, like 30 of December. So my birthday is actually like at the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? And I think the great thing about that is that, for instance, me and my friends were all around about like the same age, born 2004, 2005 type thing. I'm an '04 baby. So for me, like for instance, this year, most of my friends are 20 already, right? But I'm still 19, but I'm still turning 20, but you know what I'm saying? And I think the thing with that is that like it's so fun because they can kind of get, like they can test their age out for me. You know what I'm saying? Like before I jump into it. So sometimes I'm like, oh, okay. Like even when I sit with myself in my room, I'm like, okay, 19 look like this for this friend and this friend and this friend. Kind of similar. So I feel like when I turn 19, I kind of know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going into it raw. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of have an idea. You know what I'm saying? Because they've already tested out the age for me before I could jump in. You know what I'm saying? Like shout out to the homies. Y'all really holding it down for me, for real. I'm just joking, but like, yeah, I'm turning 20. I feel like the difference between turning 20 and turning like 13, for instance, like being in your teens, is such a different like experience, because when you turn 13, like you finally have a teen at the end of your age. And then when you turn 20, you finally have a two at the beginning of your age. But the difference between that is that I feel like sometimes you hear a lot on social media like, oh, your 20s are just going to be filled with a bunch of like different feelings and experiences and you know what I'm saying? Like just really describing it as like a proper up and down and stuff. Me personally, super excited for my 20s. I think I'm also very excited because COVID happened when I was like 16, like 15, you know what I'm saying? So because of that, I feel like in my teen life, to a certain extent, I was low-key robbed. I'm saying robbed because I actually really am okay with the way things kind of worked out for me because of because of the version of myself that exists now, and I'm really happy with her. But two, in terms of like experiences and being outside, I feel like we definitely were robbed of those experiences because it was illegal to actually be outside. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really excited for my 20s, just to have experiences, just to, mingle, meet people, like just really have fun and stuff. Yeah, but anyways, for me, I think because you're turning 20, like sometimes I can be met with a bunch of different feelings, because it's a feeling of firstly you're leaving your teenage years behind. So like maybe you can feel like, oh, it's my last year of being this particular age, it's my last year of being a teen. I need to go crazy, I need to go ham, I need to like be and do things that I need to be a version of myself I've never seen before. I need to do things I've never seen before, almost like as if you're making up for like lost time, as if you're not gonna be 20 or something, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you're not gonna have like another year of life type thing. Well, hopefully, God willing, But I feel like for me also, when you like step into your 20s, sometimes it sounds like a bit of a serious age. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the funny thing is that when you look back at the ages that you were before, you think to yourself like, oh, you're so young. So probably like 25-year-old me is looking at 20-year-old me like, girl, you're just a kid, whatever that means, you know what I'm saying? But I think because it's like the 20s, it's just this thing of like, oh, you're turning 20, life is gonna get serious, you're supposed to now, you're in the works of meeting someone who could potentially be like the father of your kids or your husband, and now you need to get a job, and now you need to like, be in your bag for real. Now you need to do like big girl things like getting an apartment and getting at this and moving out and da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Now you only have like this amount of years until also things actually start getting serious and people expect things from you in the real world, and your job and your that and your, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like a bunch of different things, And for me, that time I'm literally just chilling. Like let's just cut him like his po leo. Like I think for me, the past couple of years I've just been really in this thing of like relax. And I think that's coming. So for me, regarding my 20s, I don't really have a lot of anxiety going into it because of that whole thing of me telling myself just to calm down and relax, due to the fact that I'm a non-practicing, recovering, being rehabilitated, like a recovering non-practicing overthinker. So for me, like I try to avoid thinking or letting my mind go down a certain path because I know I'm just gonna start spiraling, and then I'm gonna come up with things that just don't exist, and then I'm gonna, yeah, and I'm saying like things basically, and that's just not fun, and stuff. But I feel like for me, my biggest theme for the past couple of years and past couple of months has just been like relax, like literally calm down, just trust God, like he's got you. Like I remember last year, like in first year, every single time I felt like a bit worried or stressed, I'd always just tell myself there's this verse in Matthew, I'll just put it up on the screen, but like it talks about like just look at the birds, just look at the birds, like if he dresses the lilies with beauty and splendor, how much more will he clothe you? I think those are the lyrics. I don't know, but just basically saying like if God can take care of things in nature and things outside, the sun rises every day, the birds still eat and stuff like that, then imagine how much more he'll actually take care of you. And even more so, you were made in his image. So imagine, you know what I'm saying? Like, like God's got you type thing. And also, I've just been telling myself to relax because I feel like for me, for most of high school, I always felt as though I was working on borrowed time. Like I always felt like I was working on borrowed time, always felt like I was running out of time, always felt like there's just so much to do and not enough time to do it. And as I entered my not my 20s, as I entered university, I just kind of like looked back at high school and just looked at myself and I was just like, bro, that whole thing of like, what would you tell younger you? I wouldn't tell younger me anything. I'd honestly just give her a hug because she was always just constantly so stressed and so worried and always so anxious. Like it was just really not a fun experience, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like after having so many years of just constantly being stressed, worried, and anxious, I think when I got to university, I was like, enough is enough. We can't have another couple of years of the same thing. We can't have another couple of years of constantly being worried, constantly being stressed. And also, I think the things I was stressed about, valid, you know what I'm saying? Like, valid to be worried about these things, I guess. But also at the same time, like, I had no business stressing about it to that extent. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I feel like obviously with working hard and actually like being on the right path, like things will just fall into place and things always have a way of working out low key. But I feel like for me it was just a lack of believing that things are actually going to work out and are going to be okay, because looking at the current states of what things look like now, it didn't look promising, you know what I'm saying? But I think coming out of high school, I just really also God was just really teaching me that like, bro, your end will be beautiful, like I know maybe right now in the wilderness looking a little dark, it's looking a little scary, it's looking a little, am I really actually going to come out at the end of this? But it's like, you're being stretched and developed because the person you're going to be later on is going to be, like, I think I just always told myself, that verse, always reminded myself, sorry, of that verse that's like, the what's it? The joy you'll experience later. What's it? The sadness you're experiencing now won't even compare to the amount of joy you're going to experience later, whatever. Something along those lines, though. So I feel like for me, it was always just this thing of like, the tears that I'm crying now are gonna water the plants and the water the seed of my blessings. You know what I'm saying? Like, water that plant, and I'm going to be living soft and just be fine later on. So also with telling myself to relax, it's honestly just been so great because even as I enter, well, I also have to always remind myself too, because sometimes it's easy to fall into the whole thing of like getting worried and stressed and stuff. But I think with telling myself to relax, it's actually afforded me so much freedom because I'm now no longer constantly thinking about how am I going to make this work and how am I going to this and how am I going to that, and literally just like, what, let's take things as they come. Let's stop trying to think of some weird scenario and fake wara that could possibly like, I think I've just been telling myself like, get out of your head, like get out of your head, because like it really was holding me back because yeah, being in your head is not fun sometimes. Sometimes yeah, but anyways, so thinking of my life at 19, I'm also just reflecting on all my other years as well. You know what I'm saying? Like just reflecting on the good, on the bad, and stuff like that. And I think for me personally, if there's one thing that I just honestly need to do is to step in. Like I think if there's one thing that I've picked up is just to step in, because I feel like in high school, not to say that I didn't do anything or I didn't do stuff. No, guys, I was active. But I definitely do think that like I perhaps talk to myself out of doing certain things that I also wanted to do because of, maybe I felt a little shy or felt a little awkward about trying something new or felt, whatever feeling I felt at the time that made me not want to do that thing. But I feel like for me, I found that I don't really regret the things that I did that much. I'm also regret the things that I didn't do in terms of like the opportunities that I didn't take, or the this that I didn't do. You know what I'm saying? Like those types of things. So I feel like entering my adults. Oh, adult sounds so serious. Entering my 20s and also just kind of like finishing off like my last year of being a teen. I think for me, I don't really put pressure to like be but I know what I'm working towards, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna like make myself go crazy type thing in pursuit of my goals, like I'm definitely calm, but I'm also serious in the approach and pursuit of them. But I feel like for me is that at the beginning of the year, I just kind of told myself, like, step into life, because I feel like I spent a lot of my teen years low key daydreaming, to be honest. God actually convicted me about that low key, like, fake scenarios and daydreaming and blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I spent most of my time just like thinking about the person that I want to be, and like, being on Pinterest, saving things, being like, ugh, I want to be her, I want to be like this, I want to be like that, I want to be but when I looked at my actual life, I wasn't actually doing those things. Which also then you ask yourself the question, so mentally you're acting like her, but physically not actually doing anything, So you're actually not her, you know what I'm saying? There's this reel that I saw recently that was like, that basically said like, thinking about doing the thing is not doing the thing, making a plan to do the thing is not doing the thing, telling people that you're gonna do the thing is not doing the thing. So it was just a thing of like, just do the thing, you know what I'm saying? And I really think that like for this year and like most of last year, that's exactly what I was doing. I was like, I'm not just gonna now think about being this and being that. Let's actually do it. Like now, let's actually put my money where my mouth is. Let's see it in my actions. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just been really great because it's also given me the courage. There was just a weird sound. And it's back. Anyways, if anything happens, I'll just run. But it's also just given me the courage to also just continue to do other stuff, because once you do one scary thing, I won't say doing the next scary things are gonna be scary, but it's no longer gonna be as scary because now you have a testimony to say, well, to know I've done a scary thing before and I turned out fine. Maybe the thing might have flopped or maybe turned out to be a success, but I've basically given myself permission to try before. So I'm just going to continue to try and try again. And I also feel like for me, I'm someone who I can be very strong in my personality, in my character, and in my thinking. Strong in the sense of I have no problem with being seen like being bad at something. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I don't really get embarrassed that easily. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, like I'm not afraid to be seen trying. So I'm really strong in the sense of like I'm not gonna now feel meek for like being bad at something, or feel meek for like, basically trying something new, not being good at it or whatever, which for me I feel like is so great because it gives me encouragement to also continue to try new things again. Because for me, most of the time when it comes to things, I am really bad at it before I get really good, you know what I'm saying? So I think because I've constantly also put myself in spaces where I'm always trying new things, I know that me being suckish at this thing right now, it's only temporary, because when Esther see money, establish. Because when I establish, you're gonna see. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like for me approaching my 20s is just continuing to just like step into life. Not even my 20s actually, just for the rest of this year even. Sorry, the sun is in my eyes as well, but like just to step into life, like just to actually like do things. And I think also with stepping into life, I don't always have to do something big and sexy. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, hey, now you're dancing and you like everybody's there to see. No, like it could even be a thing of like I tell myself, maybe let's do one, like I have this thing where every year I tell myself I have to learn one new thing every year, right? So last year it was learning how to crochet. This year it was learning how to play basketball and volleyball. Obviously I can still continue on to teach myself to learn new things, but like I literally make it a goal to never stop learning, to never stop trying new things, because I think in your like in high school and primary school, because of like extracurriculars and stuff like that are made compulsory, like be it you having to be in a culture, join a club, or play a sport, or have an activity or whatever. When you're getting older, in terms of like when you're in university and onwards, or after high school basically, you have the option to not do those things. So what ends up happening is that it's very easy for life to actually become very boring, because you now no longer have things to keep you busy. You know what I'm saying? That's why for me, like, I'm so glad that in first year, and actually throughout my whole life, I always had hobbies outside of school. Because even when it came to me doing school, it made it a lot more enjoyable, because school is not the only thing I have going on. I also have this, I also have that. So in a sense, I have a full life, if that makes sense, you know, which is honestly so great, because I know that it's fine. I know maybe I'm really, you know, needing to study for this test, but let me just quickly go to hockey practice until 3 p.m. and then from 3 until 7 I'm going to be studying, and then from 7 until this I'm going to be, you know what I'm saying? It even makes you more organized, because you actually have things to do. So you procrastinating also decreases, because you actually need to show up in all these different areas, because you've made a commitment more, so you need to be there. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, not feel like, but as I was saying, is that in your adult life can actually become very boring when you don't have hobbies, because the only thing that you end up doing then is just being on your phone the whole time. And being on your phone is okay, like there's nothing wrong with being on TikTok, you know, scrolling for a bit, but when it becomes your entire life, you sometimes can feel a bit weird about yourself, because you're always watching other people live their lives, but you're not actively doing anything in yours. So I think for me, it's just telling myself to actually participate in my life, like have activities, dog. Like having a hobby and learning something new every year is not gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and also for me, I just really want to be stupidly talented. So any chance I get to learn something new, babe, you'll find me there. You'll find me there. So I think even approaching the rest of this year, especially because I'm gonna start a new semester soon, is that I'm just telling myself, like, participate in your life, continue just to like actively participate. You know what I'm saying? Like, be there. You know, step into life. Allow yourself to have like activities to do, have hobbies, you know what I'm saying? Like, just really be present, you know. And also just relax and just live, you know. I think it's just been good to remind myself of that, because I'm always reminding myself of that. Yeah? Oh, okay, uzongifonela ke masufuna ngivulisang. Ngiphethe. Bye, girl. Have fun. But anyways, like, I just think, so I think like my life at 19, and then my life also looking at myself about to approach like my 20s, I'm just midst with a lot of excitement, you know. I think it's just always like, what's the year gonna look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, what else can we do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what else can we try, you know? So I'm just telling myself just to be calm and just to relax, and also just teaching myself, I've been teaching myself a couple of years now, but just to not complain and be negative, you know. Because obviously, like, when you experience change in your life, things are always changing. So it's really easy to just always look at like the bad and be like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. And don't get me wrong, like, sometimes you can definitely enjoy where you are, but also like still express the fact that like you are really tired and you're really kind of suffering low key, but you still enjoy where you are. I have my journal here actually, and I'm just about to write down my goals for the next like semester. Yeah, so guys, yeah, we just spoke. This is the part where the FaceTime is ending, you know, the call is ending. I'm about to press the red button, but yeah, I really have been enjoying my talking like one FaceTime thing. And mind you, I've only done like one video. This is the second one, but like I'm really having a lot of fun here.